Bitcoin making those moves, getting a little bit of a bounce. We also see Ethereum is making a little bit of a bounce, but getting rejected. What does this mean? But more importantly, what's going on with Ethereum to Bitcoin? We've got a lot of things to cover today, even some really good altcoin charts suggesting what may be coming, some levels we're going to be watching, all this and more. We're going to be getting going here in just a few minutes. So everybody, let's sort of buckle up because we're going to get going in just a moment.
Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Bitcoin, pump, altcoins, pump. I've been preparing for this. Can't nobody tell me nothing. SEC and its policies rely on whatever Gary thinks. Bitcoin's a flight to quality. I heard that from Larry Fink. Every hour losing purchasing power on foolish outcomes. It's not our fault. Blame the cult. It's the political cowards. When it comes to gas, our purchasing power just got cut in half. I sit back and laugh, open my bag, fill it with stacks and sats. Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this. Can't tell me nothing.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality. We're hearing from clients around the world.
Bitcoin, pumping, altcoins, pumping. I've been preparing for this.
And I believe crypto will play that type of role as
Bitcoin, pumping, altcoin, pumping.
we are hearing from clients around the world.
Can't nobody tell me nothing.
Crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a
We
flight.
got some great things we're covering today. Everybody get involved in the
We
live
are
chat.
hearing from clients
Are you
around
playing this bounce? Are you sitting on the sidelines? Let us know. We're about to dive into some TA. We're going to be breaking down some great charts, letting you know what's happening in this market. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to jump right into it. Some really important charts letting us know that things are not as weak as they seem. Some really great data that we're going to be breaking down, as well as are these the Bitcoin ETFs kicking back into gear? It seems like it may be. All this, as well as many different altcoins. We got to talk about what's going on in these bounce levels. Is this a bounce? Is this a trap? Let me know what you think in the comments right there in the live chat. And if you're watching later, let me know in the comments down below. Do you believe this is going to be bounce sometime, whether it's today or in the next coming days? Or do you think we're going to be pushing to much lower prices? Let me know what you're thinking. Let's see what let's gauge everybody's sentiment here. All of you that are so tuned into the markets. Shout out to everybody that's here. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, show some love. Look down below the video. If it doesn't say subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and let's get involved. My name is Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the BitLab stream. If this is your first time here, let us know. Let us welcome you into the community. We have a wonderful community here, and we're honored to have you. Everybody that's here on a daily basis, special love and shout out to you. I hope you're starting your day with gratitude. Let's talk about these markets. Let's talk about these charts. Now, February 24th, what was that date? February 24th was a date that I gave you all. ONDO. That was the date that I added it to the portfolio, and I shared that in the BitLab Discord. If you come over here to Kelly Alpha, where's that at? Boom, right here, Kelly Alpha. Scroll back to February 24th. Where was that at? Somewhere right in here. Man, I share so much alpha to you guys in here. Right here, February 24th. That's where I let you guys know I was picking up ONDO, and ONDO been on a little bit of a run. And this is just today, up 32% now. Earlier it was up 40%. But over the last, over the last year, it's up 255%. Of course, we weren't smart enough to get it all the way down here. I think we picked it up somewhere, February 20. Yeah, it would have been right in here. And this push up, this consolidation right in here. And we're seeing a little bit of a test back down, but this move to the upside. And I'm sharing all kind of different coins, watch lists, charts, all that in that BitLab Discord, as well as all the stuff I share with you all here on the BitLab YouTube stream. So shout out to everybody that's here. How many of you out there picked up ONDO? How many are waiting to pick it up? Let me know in the live comments right there. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the market. We got to get a general sort of overview what's going on. We're back up to 2.4 trillion. We're down in the 2.3, mid 2.3s yesterday. So we're getting a little bit of a resurgence here, but we can see And over the last week, we are down 12%. We're down 16% on Ethereum, down 11% on BNB. Up, Solana has just been one of those persistent coins. And we can see it did have this run up, but it did sell off quite a bit right in here, coming back to somewhat about just above equilibrium from where this last week opened, or at least 7 days from today. XRP down, had that little pop up and then quick sell off, boom, back down. We see Cardano down 20%. This is one of those reminders, everybody. This is those moments when price action on Bitcoin was breaking up above previous all-time high, and we saw altcoins rallying or feeling like they're rallying. It's like, oh, I missed it. If you had that thought whatsoever and you're seeing these drawdowns on some of these coins and you don't have targets set or limit orders in the order books already, or at least a plan and strategy to take advantage of it, what are you doing? Markets are providing opportunity right now for those that are prepared. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you sitting on your hands? Let me know what you're doing. Let each other know. This is a community. Let's raise the tide for all ships so we can all succeed in this market together. And I hope you follow us for more so we can make sure that you have all the tools, all the resources, trading signals, setups, the different on-chain data, what the forecast is of what's going to happen based on these big money players. That's what we do here in BitLab. And I'd love it if you'd follow and join our community for more so we can make sure that you stay on the right side of this trend. Now, we got a lot to talk about today. So let's talk about what we got to talk about. Now, first things first, if you're not following me yet, I don't know what you're doing. Give me a follow. Make sure I call this out every day because I want to make sure people aren't following any fake accounts, impersonator accounts, scam accounts. It's right here, KELOY, KELLAM. Give me a follow. And of course, BitLab Academy right here at Academy BitLab. Everybody throw a 1 in chat if audio, video, everything's working good. Let me know. I just want to get a little gauge here because I was having some connectivity issues this morning. Big love to everybody that's in the community here in the chat as well. All these BitLab members, I love you guys. You guys have no idea how much it helps keep this channel going, being a member here on the YouTube, and even more so being a member at bitlabacademy.com. Really does, because we got a lot of work, moving parts, the studio, lights, cameras, time. I mean, so every bit of just even watching and hitting the like button is a great way to help show some love to the channel. So let's go ahead and move on here. We got some stuff to talk about today. Now, okay, Bitcoin moved up. Oh my God, it's crashing. Well, let's look at the data. Yes, we have had a pullback, but look at this epic run we had on price action. This is a chart from Matthew Highland. If you're not following him, make sure you give him a follow. Shout out to Alexandra G, #1 crypto mod in the space. And I don't even think of her as a mod. She is a BitLab member. She helps so much on the back end. Thank you for gifting out those 5 memberships. Big love. Everybody throw a 1 in chat to show some love to Miss Alexandra G. Really appreciate you. Now, and welcome to all the new members. If you're a member, old or new, drop some of those member emojis in there. Let's get this chat flowing. Let's make it vibing today, baby. Now, price action moved up. All you watching, trying to figure out whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been watching for a while, we see price, no matter how much we try to zoom out on the macro, we still get enamored with what's going on the 15-minute. Should I buy? Should I trade? Well, let's pause for a moment. Let's zoom out just a second and say, this was an epic run. ETF sell-off right here. Buy the rumor, sell the news. And we had this epic run all the way. Look at this, 39,000, below 30, right up 39.5, all the way up, basically doubled up here to about $74,000. Can't Bitcoin cool off for a second? And rather than us be frustrated, let's look at the data. Okay, yes, RSI pulled back. In fact, look at this. We have a Batman. There's a little bit of a Batman logo right here in the RSI. It's like a bat signal, right? This is what we're seeing. We had almost basically a head and shoulders on the RSI, but separate from that, let's look at the level. We're still above the 50% mark, which is ultimately, especially on the daily, is ultimately still on the bullish side of things. We've held above 50. Let's see if we drop below it. It's okay if we do. It's going to mean probably a little bit more downside. But we're basically the strength, not overbought, not oversold, the RSI, relative strength index. Think of it that way. You can use it also sometimes if things are getting overbought or oversold. But let's look at the strength and where we're at. We're relatively at the same level that we were when price was last at $42,000. You can see he's written it out right there on the on his comment. So this is good. Price is much higher. And what this means, the reason why this is important is because this means that the RSI has pulled back quite dramatically while price has not. Price has held while there's been weakness here. Now, this is good because this means, think of it like a rubber band. Rubber bands, if you pull it and if you're trying to shoot like a piece of paper or snap somebody on the arm or something, if you pull it back a little bit, it hurts. If you pull back a little bit more, it snaps a little harder. If you pull it back a little more, it snaps a little harder. If you pull it back too far, it breaks, right? So what we're seeing right now is this is pulling back, and this gives us more room for upside price action when this does continue, basically reverse, and the RSI, the strength starts coming back up, because it's allowed the market to cool off. And even with the market cooling off, price is still holding relatively, I mean, pretty darn high. Let's forget what this high was on this level at $74,000 plus. Let's just look at where price is actually at right now relative to where it was back here. We are doing great. This is phenomenal. Could we see more downside? Yes, we could. And we likely, there's a strong possibility we will. We regularly test that short-term holder cost basis, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. And I've talked about it a lot on this the last couple of weeks, but we've had such an impactful bullish trend to this upside. This is that same level we were just looking at on Matthew Hyland's chart. But look at these reversal signals. Boom, up, trend shift, consolidation, reversal, up. Didn't really get a consolidation there, but we did there. And then here, kind of consolidated to the upside until we had several bearish divergences sort of basically propagate here into the chart until we ultimately have broken down. Not only that, we had this rising wedge. Where'd the breakdown point come to? So far, it's come back down and tested the basically base of this rising wedge pattern. Things are still incredibly bullish. In fact, and I'll say it again, I don't care if you've heard it before, even if we continue this move to the downside and get down here, we're on the 4-hour chart, even if we come down here to this $54,000, $55,000 level, we would still ultimately be in a very bullish posture. In fact, with what we know is coming, wouldn't you want the price to go there so you have the ability to do whatever you can to have capital to deploy into the market if this opportunity presents? This is a 25% discount from where this previous top was. Currently, we came down and achieved about a 16% discount. What do I mean? That's a 16% drop from this previous range high to this bounce that we just got. In fact, it went a little bit lower than that because I have that little short. So it's actually right at about 17, almost 18%. Now remember, all these moves in the past, and I've said this before, but I gotta say it again, that's been about 20%. We saw this move back here was about 20%. This move here was about 20%. We've had this regularity of this 20% drop. So we may, just based on a pattern basis of the recent trend in this bull cycle over the last year, we may be achieving the sort of maximum need for a correction here in these new terms. If things have shifted, if things are truly different, then maybe we've achieved that. We cannot expect that that's absolutely going to be the case because in all previous cycles, we've had 30, 40, 60% pullbacks pre-halving. Now, are we going to achieve that? I don't know. But what we can do is look at the data. So let's go ahead and go through the data. We're coming back. We've reset down at this RSI. We've seen the same thing on Ethereum, massive. And look at this, rolling over here. And what do we see here? Lower low. I talk about this a lot on this channel. Once you have an uptrend like this and a price action does something where you achieve a lower low of a range, in this case, these are the highest. See how it's higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Lower. In this case, we tried to get a little bit of a lower low, fake out because it was not followed by a lower high. In this case, lower low followed by lower high, boom, and we're continuing to the downside as it currently stands. But this also has had RSI completely reset back to a level that it was when Ethereum was $2,200. Yet price is much higher. So this is good. This is net positive. This is wonderful for Ethereum, especially with what we know is coming. Even if we don't get the ETH ETF, if Ethereum just had a massive upgrade, there's so many things being built on top of Ethereum. So many, we brought it up on the channel here about a week or two ago when I think it was last week when we were talking about the Denkun upgrade that just went live. There's over 10,000 different projects that are built on top of Ethereum. That's a pretty damn big ecosystem. That doesn't even count and really discuss the amount of total value locked, all these different, the capital that's locked into different DeFi protocols, as well as other aspects of the chain. This ecosystem is incredibly strong. So I'm jumping at the opportunity to potentially deploy more capital if this is able to go any lower. And we're going to show you some levels on this as well. But when we talk about the path to the upside, it's okay with price action moving to the downside right now, because on the path to the upside, this is good. If there's any sort of large impulse, any sovereign fund, if any massive ultra wealthy person out there that does try to just drop buy orders on the market, there's literally no sell walls on the Coinbase exchange between where we're at and $75,000. And this is echoed here also not only from the sell walls from orders in the order books, but also in terms of liquidation levels. There's no real heat map here between where we're at and $75,000. We have a little bit of a hurdle here, which is essentially what the previous all-time high was before we just broke it, around that $69,400 region. So we've got a clear path ahead above us if price does decide to reverse. And remember, what we've been seeing, let me come over here and go to the ETF Tracker, because we've had some massive outflows. Minus 9,000 on Grayscale 2 days ago. Minus over 7,000 yesterday. And yet we also had a very drastic difference on the BlackRock, that there wasn't much of a rotation, basically meaning this was, these were sold. You see minus 2,000, but also plus 2,000, minus almost 4,000, plus 4,000, minus 3,700, but plus 8,000. We're seeing at the moment a little bit of a drawdown here in the amount of capital flow into ETFs. And those ETFs, the reason it matters is because when there's a lot of capital flow into buying the ETF positions, those ETFs then have to go and buy Bitcoin from the market, right? They don't do it on market orders. Of course, they've been doing it mostly OTC, but those buying pressures definitely have an impact. And when we see low numbers on the ETF purchasing, it's also translating to a little bit of weakness in where we're at in the market. And we've seen a number of other things on the market also have indicated weakness. And I shared yesterday, some of the miners were selling. We also saw some short-term holder profit taking as well. But are things turning around? They could be. This was as of 10:40 this morning, but BlackRock, which is IBIT right here, has $512,000 in volume. Hopefully this is going to be buying volume. We'll have to see. But only 156,000 here on Grayscale. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens at the end of today and really throughout the end of this week, because today is a massive day. There could be a little bit of a pause. Monday, Tuesday, it slowed down. Today as well, up until about 2 to 3 o'clock today, because what do we have today? We have to understand the economic calendars. Today we have the FOMC decision on interest rate hikes. And then as soon as that happens at 2 p.m. Eastern time, then we have Jerome Powell come out there and talk and give his press conference, where everybody's going to be overanalyzing the tonality of everything he says. Is he dovish? Is he hawkish? Well, you know what? Let's ignore that. Let's be aware of it, but let's look at the chart and say, what does the chart say? What is a level if it goes down? What is a level if it goes up? If you can have a plan and any outcome, then you're never caught off guard in playing by the seat of your pants and trading emotionally. So what we're seeing right now, I have 3 different charts here that drawn out. In this case, this is just very simple with very simple levels. But then we can see this right here. We do have a broadening wedge that we've entered on this downtrend. The ultimate place that we can see on the chart. Let me come back here into the BitLab Discord. I shared this for all the members this morning. I gave a little bit of a rundown of what I was thinking about what's going on in the market. I also shared this on my Twitter. I want everybody updated about what's going on. I don't want you all to lose money or get caught in trades because you're emotional or this or that. But essentially, we're watching this level right here, this $65,000 mark. I outlined exactly what I'm thinking in all of this. But this 65,161, what is that? That is a weekly VWAP level right here. And we can see each time the price action comes up and touches this, if we're to remain bearish, we're getting rejected. We tested it again here, which was also the golden pocket. We can see this more clearly on the chart if we bring it up right here. Zoom in. Golden pocket right here. See 0.618, 0.65. price, stop messing with me. Oh, there we go. Price action, look at this. Wick comes right up to the golden pocket. That also happened to correlate roughly about where the weekly VWAP was, actually under it. And then look at this. Now candle opens right here at this 20 moving average EMA ribbon, rejected down. Now we pushed up into this, and let's delete this right here. We can see the price action currently, we're still forming lower highs. It looks like we tried to make an attempt, but with this point, here we got rejected at the golden pocket. Here we're getting rejected at the 382. So are we due for another move down? Here's the deal. Who cares? Let me say this. Price of action about to crash again, is about to break back down. Who cares? If you have a plan, it doesn't matter which direction it goes because you can take advantage of it, whether it's a long, buying the reversal, or being patient, letting it drop further to find that long, or if you're trading on smaller time frames, identifying a short and taking that position. The market provides opportunity in every direction for people that are prepared with a strategy to act in the moment that it happens. If you're jumping at the emotional signal, then you're very likely not taking the right action or doing it in the wrong way. You're forgetting some of your rules. Have your rules set, have your level set, both up and down. You're going to dominate in this market. So make sure you're following us for more so you can absolutely dominate these trends. So with that being said, we have to look at this price action because this is a weekly VWAP. We have gotten rejected. This is starting to round out, which is nice. It's good. But if we look specifically, if we turn off everything, boom, boom, and we look just at the price action, what do we see here? We see a reversal candle here. We see an expansion in bullish momentum. Now we see a reduction in bullish momentum. How do we know that? Is this candle bigger than this one? Yes. Is this candle bigger than the previous one? No, it's smaller. That's a reduction in bullish momentum. Is this candle bigger or smaller? Smaller. Reduction in bullish momentum. In fact, we had the bullish try brought back. We had the bullish try even more brought back. And now if this candle closes, we have 4 hours for this candle to close. But this is looking like it's trying to potentially make another attempt down. Now there's a couple different things that can happen here. If we zoom out on this, just so it doesn't get all choppy. If this does come down, we want to see this potentially form a double bottom or a higher low, bounce up, a little struggle, and then continue. Or this is going to come down and form a lower low, potentially come up and continue to the downside. We can let the candles do the work of painting the picture of what the path is most likely going to be ahead. Let the candles do the work. Now, having this mapped out, it's not so scary if this comes down here. In fact, if you have levels on your chart, even if they're to the downside and you're a bull, you will start to see if price action moves towards those bearish levels that you had set before it happens, it reinforces that you're doing good analysis, but also makes you more aware that you can plan for areas to be hit and do it on a consistent basis. So practice your TA, practice horizontal and diagonal levels, practice setting multiple box levels of buy orders and sell orders and you can do it on a demo account so you can see how accurate you are over time. And once you start seeing consistency with your levels being hit, then you set limit orders in the market so you can always take advantage of price regardless of what direction it's going. The market tells you what it's likely going to do. And sometimes it does those weird just wicks up or down. That's okay, but you have a plan. Even if the market reverses from some news you couldn't have planned on, a black swan event. Having a plan will save you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and make you even more than that if you can be consistent and hold yourself to that plan over time. Now, let's get back to it. What else we want to look at today? Okay, S&P 500 correlation with Bitcoin. This is a very strong correlation. Now, this, of course, these aren't going to line up perfectly, but we're looking at the direction. Both of these, this is up at an angle. Bitcoin obviously outperforming much faster, but both these kind of coming down at the same time, both these coming up at the same time, makes you wonder, does it have anything at all to do with the halving cycle? Seems like Bitcoin's kind of tracking what the markets are doing. It's likely a combination of all those things. Global liquidity, right? We've talked about that a bunch on this channel. The global liquidity, if we come up here, and this is starting to tick back up. Where is it at? Global liquidity. Starting to tick back up. We're also coming into where the halving is. Okay, halving, look at this. This is this vertical line, bull market, bull market, bull market. Are we about to have the same thing? We can also see at these same time periods, okay, global liquidity is basically up for this bull period. And we had a bit of a sell-off here on Bitcoin, but then the global liquidity also ticked down here as well, reinforcing that lack of capital flow into this risk asset. And this was much riskier back here. Similarly, look, up, what do we see? Up, look at it, little sell-off. What do we get? A couple choppy zones in the market. Global liquidity down, what do we get? Market down. Okay, market, global liquidity up. What do we see? Market up. This started breaking down before the global liquidity, but then it ultimately, a lot of choppiness. And what do we see with the price action? When you zoom out, you realize those $7,000 moves, they weren't that much. Why? Because this asset has so much more capital and the value of it so much higher. A $7,000 move over here looks like what a $300 move was over here. You see what I'm saying? This market is growing, and it's hard for us to really comprehend what's going on an exponential basis because our brains don't work like that as living creatures. Now, we do see this ticking up, kicked off this bull run, drawdown, and in fact, this is incredible. Price action range sideways, slightly moving up overall throughout the first half of last year. In reality, this was a pretty big gain from 15,000 up to $25,000 range, but the global liquidity was moving to the downside on that. So it's showing strength is coming into the market, even in the face of risk weakness. Now, we do see that this has bottomed out. Now, the point of all this is the market cycle is not going to be directly tied only to the halving. The market cycle is not going to be directly tied only to global liquidity. It's not going to be directly tied only to the correlation between S&P 500. But all of these things provide the ingredients and the potential for a perfect storm that we could see things like can't even imagine. We want to keep track of these things because as we come into this halving, that suggests from that theory that bullish things may happen. Now, if we come into the halving and we start seeing global liquidity tick up very well, and we also get some sort of monetary policy shift or something that kicks kicks into gear, but keeps the traditional stock market, S&P 500, NASDAQ performing well. If all those things are true, then we're going to have an astronomically incredible bull cycle coming in from 2024 into 2025. We also have this year, the election cycle year of the U.S. Typically, over the last 80-something years, great for markets. In fact, this morning at 6 a.m., I interviewed Crypto Burb. I'm not sure what day I'm going to release it. I might release it on Saturday. Nice 20-minute interview talking about markets, what we can expect, our thoughts on different things. And so I'm really excited to share that with you all this weekend. But he has a lot of similar thinking that I do about a lot of these things coming together right now. And we can't expect or plan on any of them happening. All we can do is set up our strategy to take advantage of the if-ands as these things develop within this market. So let's dive in. Let's do some TA. And we're already at 12:15. So we're going to do some Bitcoin. We've already talked about this. This price action is broken down, much as we talked about, came to this level, is, if you draw one more thing on this chart, the question is, do you all think, everybody in the chat right now, let me know, do you think we're going to hit $55,000? Or do you think this 60 to 61 region right in here, do you think this is going to be the local bottom? Even if we move back down towards it, do you think we'll ultimately bounce from this region? I'm curious what you all think, and comment down below if you're watching later. The markets are very interesting right now because of the capital flows, and we're seeing the impact of the lack of buying, even if it's just speculative. The lack of buying on the ETFs, I think, is giving a little bit of weakness to the market on a speculation basis. But if that kicks back into gear, and we see other things like we just saw today or last evening with Larry Fink and BlackRock adding that $100 million fund to the Ethereum network, talking about tokenized assets. Guys, Wall Street and the development that we're about to see in blockchain is about to get incredibly impactful with not only Bitcoin, but the BRC20 narrative, the layer 2 on Bitcoin narrative. Remember, MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor, they're building out, they want to be a Bitcoin, not production, what do you call it? A Bitcoin development company. I think we're going to see a lot of different financial products that get developed on Bitcoin. But in addition to that, we already have Ethereum, and it does have pretty positive speculative relevance within Wall Street and smart contracts, real world asset tokenization. It's too long of a damn phrase. RWA, we'll say from now on. And we see things like ONDO. We see, all the different lending protocols like Curve and Aave and Compound and Maker. And then you have AVAX and Solana, and all these different smart contract platforms can also have their own RWA integrations within those protocols, as well as on their layer 2s. So it's going to be a race, I think, coming very shortly on a lot of these different assets. So let's stay prepared. Ethereum came down right to that level. We talked about this. Nice move up. Lost this trend line, came right back down to this macro resistance parallel channel trend line that we had not yet tested. So what are we going to do if we lose that? Let's also see, by the way, let's also see from this point right here, option F, if you're on PC, it's alt F. It looks like on this move, if we did break down further, this was beautiful. Golden pocket right here at basically 29.75, which is roughly about where all this price interactivity happened back here. So I could see a scenario where Ethereum does move down and find some support in this region. Ultimately, if we lose that, we'll be looking at 2,600. And where we see things going, let's kind of hope we get these levels, especially if any of you, I'm asking right now, actually, everybody in the chat right now, do you feel, let's be honest, throw a 1 in chat if you have all the crypto you feel like you need. Throw a hell no in chat if there's so much more that you wish that you could have stacked up on, so much more that you wish you wanted in your portfolio that you're trying to figure out how to get in there. And I hope and I bet that there's going to be a lot more hell no's in there, because we all want to figure out how we can capitalize on this market as much as possible. So on that note, we should be excited about downward price action right now with what's coming in this market. There's so much bullishness. We got a little downside work to do right now, meaning price action pulling back. People that aren't prepared, oh my God, they're having a heart attack. But all of you that want more crypto in your portfolio, you want more of an opportunity to dominate your future by being prepared now and having another shot to prepare a little bit more, meaning price action dips. You have another opportunity to buy, add to your positions, pick up that coin you haven't. Let's be champions for downside price action right now, because we know where this is headed. And I hope you follow us for more, because we're about to ride this dragon to the top, baby. Now, let's look at some of those coins. AVAX tested the bottom side of this range that we talked about. Price action was up here, and I said, hey, man, it could come back and test this. And if it loses this, it may bounce on this level. I didn't change anything on this chart. If you guys aren't watching and tuning in here every day, I'm breaking these things down for you. The levels that I've been sharing have been hitting like, I feel like somebody gave me a crystal ball. And not all my levels are going to hit as often as they have lately. Sometimes I'll have a bad month, and that's okay. Right now, these levels that I'm seeing, I'm tuned into this market, and these things are hitting like magic right now because I'm prepared, because I'm paying attention to the signals in this market. How many of you out there hold AVAX? And if you had to pick between Ethereum, and you can only hold one, Ethereum, Solana, AVAX, Cardano, let me know which coin, if you could only hold one for this bull trend, which one would you hold? I really like AVAX. Luckily, I have AVAX. I don't have, you know what? I have 0 Solana, actually. It's contrary to so many people out here loving Cardano, Solana. Bruno says Atom. Atom's a great one as well. We could look at Atom today as well. But AVAX is, breaking down from this point up here above 60, tapped right onto the box that we had drawn here, this target box, $64, $65, and has moved from that point all the way down here. Oh my God, 25%, 22% discount. This protocol went on sale. If you feel like you missed the boat here, you're able to add here. Now, if we lose this level, we're ultimately looking in this $49 to $47 range. And if we lose that, What do? Zoom out on the chart. We come down, we move our mouse. We have the crosshairs on it, so it goes across the entire chart. And as I move this down, I'm waiting for it to hit a top. So this is the top right here. And we can see this also hits this top right here. So I do Option H. That gives me a horizontal line. That's an easy way to do it. Now, I like to make mine just a little bit prettier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to come down here, or you can actually come over here and you can, pick your different lines, whatever. But I have mine on, I put little stars. See how there's little stars next to those? That way, when you come down here and you hit this star right here, see this toolbar that pops up? Whatever you star on here shows up on your favorites toolbar, and you can always have your stuff very easily available. So let's draw a little box. So this is ultimately what I'm seeing as the next level down for AVAX. If price action loses this $48 region here, I'm looking right in this zone, right? The $44 region. This is where we picked it up. Remember, we started building this altcoin portfolio February 7th, and we've been doing very well. And is it frustrating that the price action isn't just going to the moon? No. I want to add more to this portfolio. Remember, we started with $14,000 in this portfolio, and I was just adding to it strategic positions along the way. That's right. You can do this quickly. You can be patient. I'm all about leverage trading in small quantities, small allocations to my portfolio. But I'm most interested right now in getting, an assortment, a portfolio of positions that essentially give me exposure to a wide variety of the market, both high risk and low risk, and do it in a meaningful way so I can, on spot levels, I'm up 2,000 on Ethereum, 27 on Avalanche, 4,000 on Near. Near has been one of those top performers. Really surprised me. And this was up almost to $9 the other day. And I expect it will likely have another incredible run in this bull trend. Now, especially when it comes back up, a lot of gains being made here, just strategically buying when I saw that the altcoin market was ready to start making a move, and everything really did start doing that. Now, render, some people think the render play is over and AI plays over. AI play, I think, is just getting going. If you're talking about trading on a shorter time frame, or you bought this years ago or months ago, then this was a great exit. We also just had the GTC summit, or I think it's still going on with NVIDIA. So some people took profits on this. And if they're up 300, 600, 800%, they should. But if we got in right here, I'm looking at most of these positions I have in my alt portfolio to ride as long as possible, hopefully to that year mark. Some of them will get sold if the charts suggest that they should on a macro level. But I'm hoping to hold most of these past the point of the capital gains tax. I want them to be, I want that plus 1 year. And if I have to sell, then I will. But I think the AI plays are still going to do well. But because niches rotate, we may have a cooling off period in that other niches may run faster than AI for some period. But I'm okay with that because I can only focus on so much at one time. So render is still actually looking relatively good. We had this bull flag here, came down, and look at this. If we extend this out, this is essentially just testing this previous resistance, flipping it to support. We have a W formation currently forming on render right here. Are we going to come down and retest this? If we break through this, we may be coming much lower down into this region down in here, the $9 sort of zone, kind of the equilibrium of this price point here. But if we're able to bounce here, then we're going to be watching up here at 12 for a potential barrier before continuation. Solana. So here we go. We talk about that when you have an uptrend, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Is this low higher than this or lower? It's lower, followed by a lower high, followed by a lower low. Currently in process of forming a lower high. Are we going to get a little bit more downside on Solana? If we do, then ultimately I'm watching this box right in here, these lows. It's going to be kind of a little bit lower than that. There we go. I'd be watching because Solana has been a strong asset in the last couple months. I mean, in reality, it's been a strong asset since it was $9 or whatever it was. I mean, remember this? 13 bucks. Got all the way down here. Look at this. $8. People gave up on it here. Other people bought here. They bought the blood and they are millionaires for it. So what we're seeing right now, Okay, a little bit of cool off. Looks like this goes all the way. Let me move this so I can see the date. This goes all the way back to November, this trend line. We can see this actually comes, if we bring it through, resistance, support, 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 support. So this tells me that, and now look at this. We have this cross section here with this horizontal levels of resistance, head and shoulders right here told us this was coming down, bounced off this support level. Look at this flash crash down, boom, right on this level. And this is crossing right in here. So this is telling me if we do lose this level, then we get an incredible opportunity to pick up Solana at the bargain 2-for-1 discount down here at about $118. And think about that. Up here, it was 210. That's almost half off. 43% off. Would you be mad at that? Or would you be excited that you got the ability to stack? It's all about mindset. When you have a plan, none of these price action movements really matter to you because you know how to attack it. Now, ultimately, on the bullish note, I would like to see, if we're talking about the bullish narrative for Solana, I'd like to see this hold somewhere here or potentially wick down into here, the 150 zone, and then bounce and move up from here. But I do see a strong possibility that we do get a move down here into the 125 to 130, 138 sort of region right in here if we lose this zone. Link is providing opportunity. Remember, this is one of the most entrenched cryptos out there for how many partnerships it has, how it bridges a lot of things in the real world outside of blockchain into blockchain, right? Data, aggregation, Oracle, as well as some things with real world asset tokenization, as well as being, working with Swift in the traditional finance system. There's a lot of things I think that could absolutely moonshot Chainlink in this next bull trend and over the next 10 or 15 years as well. This may be a longer term play. It will be boring sometimes, but as it stands right now, this is looking a little bearish. We have an M formation right here. We now have a new lower low. Are we going to form a lower high and continue further down? As it stands right now, remember, we had about 530 days or something. So, this zone right here, 520, 530 days that this was trading sideways. And this launched that sort of alt craze before everything is really moving. And now it's cooling off a little bit. But once we clear this $24 mark, then I think it's going to be really off to the races for this to be doing work to the upside. What else we want to look at? Stacks. We got in on this one late. But I'll show you, I got the green line where I bought all these, where we bought all these assets, where I shared it with you all. This does look like it could have a little bit of a correction to the downside. We're looking on the 3-day. It looks like I bought an absolute top here. We get down to the 2-hour though. You can see that this has just been chopping in the zone. The BRC20 narrative, I think, is going to be, I think it's going to have an incredible impact. It may not be in a month, may not be in 6 months. It's going to all depend on when a lot of those protocols start rolling out and people are really getting involved. And there's influencer campaigns and all those things that some people say they hate. But when you're paying attention to the market, you know how to ride those waves and make money off the back of those marketing promotional agendas that those different projects are doing. I'm here to make money. Are you guys here to make money? I have no coin sponsorships. I don't talk about, I've never been paid by a coin, never been a part of a coin. I share with you all exactly what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, what it comprises in my portfolio. And I talk about all kind of coins that you guys want that I have held, never held, or never will hold. Because this is about you guys. I want to show you guys what I'm doing, what I've done in the past that works, and also how we can dominate here. So Quant giving us incredible levels. I mean, this is, we got a bit of a broadening wedge here. Boom. This could be a little bit ominous here. But I think in the long run, I think even if we drop from here and came back down here to this $96 level, previous range lows here, previous range low, this would be astronomically good buy if we drop below 100 again. But where we're at right now is even a good, if you're looking for the next 14 months, this anywhere in this region, I think is a great opportunity. Once we start moving back up, I think this is going to perform very well. Let's do AGIX. I do not hold AGIX. You can't buy everything. I had to pick which AI plays I wanted. And I was also trying to focus most of my altcoin portfolio on stuff you could buy on Coinbase. So I was a little limited there as well. There's a couple things I've added like ORNJ and what else did I get? ORDS, right? ORDI swap. Now we do have a little bit option T. We do have a little bit of a broadening wedge here, which is actually good. Let's delete this channel. This is good because these tend to break bullish. Problem is this could continue down for quite some time. There's no way to tell. This is all going to depend on what the AI narrative does. And if NVIDIA takes a hit, I think the entire crypto market niche for AI is going to take a hit as well. Now, if this does continue to the downside, because look at this. This is bouncing to the top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, bottom of the range. As it stands right now, this is showing a little bit of weakness because we've only gotten up to about the halfway mark here, and it's starting to show some weakness. If this does break down, I'd be looking for it to come down here in the basically sub-dollar down here to the 83-cent range. Why? Because this mark straight down is not only the lower bound of this support, but look at where my mouse is right now. Look at that. Previous range low, range high. So there's confluence at this level. Tells me likely a big good one. Caspa, I don't have Caspa, never have. I don't have a problem with it. It's just sometimes you have to pick and choose, right? This is coming right down into this chop zone right here, all these different levels. See that? Bounce here, chop right in here, rejection right inside, rejection from here. There's a lot of interactivity across this level. If we can hold here, Gesundheit. We can hold here, then maybe we can form a little bit of a base and then reverse back up. We do have negative money flow. See, it's purple, this pink line down here. The RSI is also, this is on the 2-hour. RSI is angled to the downside. What does it look like on the 4-hour? Yeah, negative money flow. We do have bullish divergence here on the momentum waves. This is moving very far down. These are about equal. This is a little bit higher. So there is an argument to be made. Maybe we could form a little bit of a base here. We need to let it do the work. If that does happen, then on a bounce here, we're going to watch first level first is this previous range low right there. We're going to want to watch if we can clear that. And if we can, then we can start talking about a stair step to the upside. DESO. I haven't talked about DESO in a while. This is one of those ones I really like, had in my portfolio. I decided to trade out of it, not because I have any problem with it. In fact, John Dalton in our BitLab Discord, one of our premium, top premium traders in there, part of our team, loves DESO. But sometimes you have to choose where to cut the fat to add something to something else, right? Budgeting your portfolio is important. And sometimes it comes down to what you're interested in. So on this one, coming in right here to a base, see this? Bounce, bounce, bounce. We're right at this level. If we lose this level on DESO, then let's see. Let's move this line out of the way. Option J, come right in here. Option J. I don't know what that is. There we go. So we have these rejection, bounce. Yeah, I'd be looking at this. If this does lose this level, I'd be looking at for an opportunity down here in the $26 range. Option F, top to bottom. Yeah, look at that. The extension from this move to the downside is right on this line as well. $26. It's a 1.382 extension to the downside. Now, if we do get a bounce, then what we want to watch in the immediate future is the 382 is exactly on the level that we had originally bought it at. So we can delete that actually because we don't. Everybody still there? Our computer just glitched out there for a moment. Hopefully, give me a 1 if streams, everything's still good. Let me know. Got it. I tried to press the delete button. I pressed the standby button. It turned off my monitor for a second. If we bounce to the upside, this is ultimately this level right here is what we're really watching. This 1.382, which is also this sort of range low right in here. You see this? Option J. Bounce, bounce, bounce a little bit above it, but right here, bounce this zone is going to be important. If we do bounce it, we want to see what happens in the zone. If we get rejected back down, or if we're able to take it back up, then we could talk about the next one. And the last one we're going to look at, we'll look at two. CLORE, it's one of those coins I don't own. It's one of those ones that Josh was telling people about. And I've heard a lot of people in the office here talking about it as well. Newer coin, but look at this. This is actually quite beautiful. This is showing a little bit of weakness though. See this move? See this move? See how these moves are getting smaller? How do I know? I got eyeballs. How do you know? You look at the chart. Sometimes the best thing you can do is observe what's going on. Is this one as big? No, it's not. It's much smaller, right? So then how big is this one? Option T, let's draw a trend line. Just under about the same size there. But we're getting a little bit of chop here. We want to make sure if this does break down, I'd be looking for an opportunity in the 26-cent range. If we lose that, then this may be going into a chop zone. But as it stands right now, it looks a little indeterminable. We do have choppy money flow. The VWAP is not moving further down. It's starting to round out. It's this yellow line right here. Now, if we look at it on the actual chart, we can see currently, go to the 4-hour. 4-hour. There we go. We really want to get through all of this spaghetti here. This is a weekly VWAP. Let's turn off the BitLab volume. This is a 20 moving average we're being suppressed by right now with this. You can see these this EMA ribbon that's within this 20 moving average right here. Ultimately, we need to clear this 36-cent range. This is a trend signal line, this red line, because we're in a bear. We're kind of in a semi-downtrend right now. That's why this line is red and it's green over here, but it's red over here. It's a trend signal line is right about the same level as a weekly VWAP. If we can clear that, then we'll likely be making another move to the upside. ORNJ, where is it? I'll do CELO since that's what I see right now. All right, this is where we entered. This is moving up, come down, testing levels. We're sitting right here on this previous range high and these two bounce levels right here projected across. We may be finding a little bit of a base here. We see this starting to round out. If we can chop a little sideways and push up, we want to clear the $1.12 before we think about it actually moving up. You don't want to just when it starts bouncing buy, because it could do something like this, reject, and then lose that level. Let's let this move up a little bit, maybe even break through it, have on the retest to the downside, if it's looking strong for a reversal there, then not only do you have a higher low, you also have a confirmation of the breakout of that zone. Now, the last one, ORNJ. ORNJ making some nice moves here. So this is where we got in over here, and we had to ride through. Yes, we held here. We held here. We held here. Went up so good. It came right back down. Oh, my God, we're done. Push up. Now, look at this. This is beautiful. This is what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about right here. W formation. And not only is it W formation, we have a higher low. You see this? This chart is telling you something. And the price action did, and this is a smaller market cap coin. So the price action did cut through this weekly VWAP, this yellow line right here, but rejected right back down, rejected again, right back down, chop around it. Now we've pushed beyond this, push beyond the weekly VWAP. Where did that just go? Push beyond the weekly VWAP. Come on, baby. Give it to me. There we go. Push beyond this weekly VWAP right here. And the trend signal line came down, tested it. The bears tested it to the downside. The bull said nope, and it's moving back to the upside. In addition to all this, if we take a move, option F from the top to the bottom, look at this. We sliced right through the 382. This is where we're held up a little bit. We also sliced right through this golden pocket, and we're getting a little bit of trouble right here at this platinum pocket, as Army Piper calls it. But now look at this. Bears tried to take this down back. The bulls brought it right back up. If we can close this 4-hour candle above this golden pocket, then I think we may be doing some work to the upside. The last one we'll do MATIC, because MATIC has just given us opportunity. This went all the way up here to $1.28. I am in the red right now because this is where we bought. Felt good here. Now it's down. Am I mad? No. This means I can, when I scrape up some capital or look at my dry powder bag, I can look at some of these projects that are, buying areas that I can lower my average entry. So this is coming all the way back down. Look at this. I had a bit of a head and shoulders here, for a lot of just bearishness. But look, lost a weekly VWAP, came back into it, rejected, came back into it, rejected. So as it's looking right now, can't tell, but this is looking a little bit like a bear flag, kind of. But we want to see how this interacts right here. If we get a push up, maybe we're forming a base here. As it stands, this is where previous range low, option J right there. See? Now, if this does get lost and move further down, then anywhere where we're at now or below this, I think is an absolute buy for MATIC because of how much is going on with their ecosystem, what they're doing. And my question to you right now, if this is your first time here or you peep in here somewhat regularly, let's get these metrics up. Hit that like button, show some love, and I'd love to have you here in the family. We do giveaways all the time. I'll be doing a giveaway on tomorrow's stream as well. And there's a giveaway if you head over to the BitLab Academy page and share this post. This is basically a snapshot of the page. You can click on this link right here. It's a 30-day free trial to our premium Discord where we're sharing classroom sessions. We're sharing watch lists and call outs for different coins that we're getting into, breakdowns of TA. I do macro updates. It's Joshua, Jake, myself, Deezy, Tim, TA Tim, John Dalton. There's so much in our Discord that we share. I mean, look at some of this alpha. This is a members chat. Kelly Alpha. I'm sharing just direct breakdowns of what's going on. In addition to everything I'm sharing to you here, I go in a lot more detail, give you updates on what I'm doing in my portfolio. Joshua Jake does the same thing with watch lists and his calls and what's going on and what he's doing and why. And I want you guys to stay in the know. So get involved with that. And if you share this, you get entered to win $100 USDT. I'll be drawing that next on the 26th. So come over here and share that. Get inside our Discord. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I got to eat some lunch, and then I have some afternoon meetings and some more charts and some more content. I love you guys. Hit that like button. Look below this video. If it doesn't say subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you later. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hit that subscribe button, mother. Be my friend. This is a link you can go to get that deal. lab.bitlabacademy.com/Josh. This will expire once we break back above 70,000, but you lock in the lower price for life. This also gives you access to a lower price for that membership. Love you guys. Adios. I love you guys. Shout out to all the members here. Still in the room, in the live chat. Drop some emojis. I really do appreciate and love all you guys.